When is it time to replace your DJ equipment? There are a lot of different schools of thought on this. I thought we'd talk about a few of them today. Maybe give you something to think about. This is a sponsored video, but don't let that freak you out. The content of this video wouldn't have changed if it wasn't sponsored. So with that out of the way, there are people who just see the latest and greatest of everything. This exists. I've talked about this before in videos. I have a local friend who bought brand new CDJs. Beautiful, expensive, brand new, top-of-the-line Pioneer CDJs. As soon as they came out. 3 weeks later, Pioneer released a limited white edition of these same CDJs and mixing board. So my friend sold his new CDJs, his new mixing board that was 3 weeks old, and bought the new white ones because he had to have them. Those people exist. They're gearheads. They're out there, and they just need the latest and greatest. There are a lot of people out there like that. Keeps the economy going. It's kind of like the people who buy the first class airplane tickets so the rest of us can buy the coach at a decent price. Yeah, he's the first class plane ticket guy. They exist. But I don't think most of us are like that because most of us are not flying first class, we're flying coach. So we're more practical about it. I think most people replace when they feel like their equipment is starting to age out. So let's just say they bought a set of speakers 8 years ago and they still work, but you're thinking to yourself, this is my livelihood. I'm out doing wedding receptions and this is how I make my money. And the last thing I want to happen is for my speakers to fail at an event. So I got 8 years out of these. Maybe the responsible thing to do is think about replacing these 8-year-old speakers and going with something newer that I can sell these 8-year-old speakers or keep them as backup or whatever. That's how I think most of us do it. And that's anything from your controller, your mixing board, your lighting system, anything that's electronic. A lot of people do that. That's how I like to do it as well. But, I also have this really weird unfair advantage where for the past 18 years, I've been doing YouTube videos and I've been doing a lot of demos for you folks. They're not reviews, they're demos. And I'm trying to do them as demos where I'm the one who's able to have a look at this stuff and show you how it works. With all of the new influencers today, it's a gear grab, it's free stuff. They'll say nice things about anything. And I think it's a little more disingenuous than it used to be. But yeah, I've been able to try things that I wouldn't normally try. And a lot of things I ended up really liking. And the reason I bring this up is because I've got this friend who had a set of Mackie Thumps for a long time. And he decided it was time to upgrade his Mackie Thumps. So he went out and got the QSC-K series because he really likes this two-way top cabinet point source thing. And I asked him, I said, hey, why wouldn't you have just gone ahead and updated to an array? He's like, well, I'm not sure about those. I know how the point source work, and I like how they work, and I understand them, so this is what I'm going with. That happens. That happens a lot. People find something they like, and you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Just better the devil you know, I guess, on a lot of this stuff. Same thing with lighting. There are folks out there who are crazy about the gig bar because it's one tripod, one stick with all these lights on it. They've always used lights on a truss or a tripod or whatever. The gig bar is an easy thing to do. So instead of setting up this lighting system, why not just get this all-in-one system? Easy, simple. People who buy gig bars, I ask them, hey, why don't you do something like wireless battery-powered uplighting to wash the room? You don't need these tripods anymore. You don't need T-bars anymore. Well, I don't know. I get it, and I don't aim at anybody's eyes. I point them up or whatever. I have an unfair advantage because instead of me trying to figure out if I want to make a big change, I haven't had to do that because so many companies have been kind enough to send stuff for me to have a look at. I've been able to try it. I've been able to take it out to events. Maybe I've got an event where it's like, oh, you know what? I'll try this new piece of equipment at this event. What's the worst thing that could happen? So I'll take it out, even if it's out of my comfort zone, and I'll use it. And that's when I really understand it, how it works and why it's beneficial and all of those things. And I've tried to pass this on to everyone else, but I understand that's hearsay. And it's a tough pill to swallow if you haven't experienced it yourself. I try to be the trustworthy guy where you trust me on stuff. Your opinion is your opinion. What you want to do is what you want to do. That's fine. But there was somebody recently who came over who had a bar. I've talked about this. He had some point source speakers in his bar, some Mackie Thumps again. I went into his bar and God, it was really harsh. The sound was really harsh. And I said, have you ever considered an array? Like a compact array? He said, no, I don't want to go that route. I like the point source. They've always treated me right. He was here in the studio. While he was telling me this, I was already setting up a 30M just to demo it for him. I put it on, I played it for him, and his jaw dropped. Wow, I had no idea. Well, how could you? You hadn't experienced it yet. Long story short, he's using column arrays in his bar now because he heard the difference and the benefits. Again, all things that I was able to experience because I was fortunate enough to be able to get demo stuff and take it out and try it. Try to pass this info on to others, but it's hearsay. I totally get that. By the way, this video is brought to you by Hollywood DJ. If you are considering updating or replacing any of your DJ equipment, I highly recommend you go to Hollywood DJ. And the reason I highly recommend this is because I've sent several people to Hollywood DJ recently, and they have been taken care of very well. They've gotten the price they like. They've gotten the service they like. They are the channel sponsor here. But, fact, my pal Alan at Hollywood DJ will hook you up. Thank you, Hollywood DJ, for being one of our channel sponsors. So it's tough to change. I have a friend in the Baltimore market, successful mobile DJ, who still uses CDs, and he's just making the change over to digital files and controller. Yeah, he's making that change now. He's been using CDs all this time. Why? Because CDs have worked. He hasn't had a problem with them. He burns them. He understands it. He gets it. He's trying the digital thing, and he's skipping the computer thing and going straight to the all-in-one, which is probably a great way for him to go. There are a lot of people out there who are on computers, could be on the all-in-one systems where it's all built in, but they're so used to computers, they don't want to do it. Again, change. Change is scary. When it's time to update, what do? Do you replace what you have with something very similar, or do you go ahead and try the new tech? A lot of people stick with what they know. Some people take the leap of faith and go with the new tech. But whatever you do, I would suggest this, regardless, as to whether you're just a big gearhead or it's just time to replace your equipment. Be smart about it. Get something that's going to work for the type of events that you do. There are a lot of folks out there who have, I don't know, let's say an Evolve 50. It's working just fine for them at their events, and they're looking at the 70. The 70 is a very capable system, I'm sure, but do you need it? Do you need it for the size of events that you're doing? A lot of people don't. Get the thing that works best for what you want to do. There's no reason to go overkill on stuff. And remember, you got to buy this stuff to try it at an event. People like me, I mean, we're lucky. We get to go ahead and try all this equipment that comes our way and report back. And like I said, hopefully you trust us on this. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But regardless, I have that advantage. And I can make the decision, do I use this system or do I go back to the old one? What's going to work best for me? A lot of you don't have that privilege. You just have to buy things and hope they work. So listen to people you trust out there when it comes to demos, reviews, whatever. And try to make your decisions based on that. Ideally, in a perfect world, if you can go somewhere and hear something or see something for yourself, do it. But that's really a perfect world today. I mean, most things are online now. So you have to kind of go to a conference sometimes to experience the speaker or see a light in person. Or you go online and take advantage of this YouTube thing or any of the other social media things that are out there and see if you think this might work for you. Don't believe the hype on stuff. Use your head. Make smart purchases. Get what works for you. And maybe don't be afraid to try some new technology and some new ideas once in a while. Everybody does it though. I mean, look, I'm in the market for replacing my 22-year-old Suburban in the driveway because it's rusting out. Yeah, I could go with a much newer truck, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go with another older truck, but I'm going to get one out west without rust on it. Why? Because I know it. It's familiar. I get it. I understand what the maintenance is on it. I understand what the problems are on it. I understand what the benefits are of it. New is scary for me, so I'm not doing it because the repair bills seem high, and I don't know that I have the confidence to do those repairs or, quite frankly, the cash. So I'm going with the older thing. I've done my research on this, yet a lot of people are driving the new ones. I'm just not that guy. I'm going to go with an old one because I'm a little stuck in my ways sometimes too. So I'm not trying to, throw stones in glass houses. I'm guilty of this as well. But again, with this gear stuff, if it's time to update, it's time to update. It's time to make it a little more contemporary, and it's time to replace, consider it. Try something new. Don't be afraid to try new things. Especially if you're one of those seasoned DJs out there. You don't want to look old and have old stuff. You can be a little older if you are working as a contemporary DJ. It's okay. Your age shouldn't mean anything. It should be about your abilities and how you're approaching things. If you're approaching things in an old school way and you're old school, you might not be too attractive to some of these wedding clients out there. But yeah, if you're seasoned and you're still doing things in a new, fresh way, that's a good thing. Anyway, the video's going off track here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys for tuning in so much. I know you haven't seen a lot of videos recently. I've been really busy with some personal stuff over here. But here in the next month or two, I'm going to be putting a lot of videos out because I don't have time and I'm going to be working, doing a lot of mobile stuff and club stuff or whatever. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you soon. Practice and enjoy.